Hi, I'm Sam.
And I'm Ian.
We're from Legion 13 Airsoft, and today we're going to review the D-Boys M4. Just kidding. We were reviewing the Airsoft Gi G4. This is probably one of the best guns I've ever owned. And to start off with, it has Daniel Defense 9-inch rails, a UTG combat flashlight, some foregrip that I got like 5 years ago when I started Airsoft, a G&P holographic sight. The upper and lower receiver is made of polymer, so it's really strong. If you guys have probably seen the Airsoft GI video where they dropped it from a ceiling from about 9 feet, they dropped it twice from 9 feet, and they managed to pick it up again and keep shooting. So that way, this is probably one of the strongest guns out in the market. That has a polymer crane stock, which holds a 9.6 nunchuck battery. And that's pretty much about it. This is all bone stock, no internals have been changed, but Ian has upgraded his gun quite a bit.
This is my gun. This was originally a G4A3, which is an M16 length DMR version. You see it's got the M16 length handguard here. The rails are Olympic Arms rails. They're actually very lightweight, even though they're twice as long as M4 rails. They're extremely lightweight. It's got a really good feel to it. But I didn't like the M16 length barrel. It was just too long, and it really does not give you that much more range. It maybe shot 10 more feet with an M16 length barrel than the M4. And for me, I wanted the maneuverability. So I swapped it out. It now has a M4 length 6.01 inner barrel, as opposed to the original M16 length 6.03 precision inner barrel that they include with it. I've also replaced the stock with a regular M16 fixed stock, so I can fit a 10.8 small type battery in here. The top and bottom, the top receiver is just replaced it with the same kind. It's just replaced it with the tan one and the tan grip for looks. Internally, except for the new inner barrel, it's still pretty stock. I did, however, put what's called a polar concave spacer in there. It's a very small part, hop-up spacer, because with the inner barrel, I found that the original hop-up spacer would not allow it to adjust much. Anyway, very simple part. It costs like $7, and it actually does work very well.
Using this gun, when I first took it out, the one thing I noticed is that the gun is probably one of the lightest guns out there, despite this probably being all aluminum. I don't think it's real steel, but it's all aluminum. This is probably the heaviest part. The rails is the heaviest part on the gun. The rest of it is all polymer. It's basically plastic. You may think that'd be really front heavy, but actually when you're holding it, it is not heavy towards the front at all. It's really maneuverable. There's no problems with it at all. The receivers are so easy to switch out in game that if you wanted to, you could do a field swap and switch it to a stubby, like the Fighting Cat or Fighting Kitty. That's my thoughts on the gun. The rate of fire is pretty decent with a 9.6, but if you do a 10.8, you will have very increased rate of fire.
So, even though these are technically a type of plastic receivers, they are extremely strong, almost as strong as metal ones, and actually I've seen some metal ones break before these do. So if they're like cheap pot metal, but extremely strong, you should not have any problems with these. And like we said, it actually, despite being a type of plastic, they actually disassemble like a metal receiver gun, which means instead of hinging like this and this front part coming down, it actually, you pull it back and it just slides straight off the front as if it were metal. And also, instead of doing modifications to put a metal hop-up in, this can take a metal hop-up without any modifications to the receivers. The hop-up it includes is a polymer one, but is not the two-piece one you get in cheap plastic guns. It is actually a polymer one-piece one, so it is in the shape of a metal one, and I found it's a very good hop-up.
And one more thing, I know most people are wondering whenever they buy guns if you can look down the sights with them. The crane stock does not inhibit most face masks. I recommend using a save face if you want full face protection, or if you want, you can use Arena Flakjack goggles as seen on e-bike. But I have the G&G Holosight, but when you put your face up against the crane stock, you can still see down the sights perfectly with no problem at all. And that will conclude our video on the Airsoft Gi G4. Thanks for watching.